latest research shows that a negative magnetic field can promote alkaline. In other words, when we put a negative magnetic field near our body, okay, our body would become more alkaline. Okay. Okay. Just like E field. E field, when we breathe in negative ions, okay, our body would also become more alkaline. Why? Why? Okay, people will not consider it because. Let's finish the following. If we have time, we'll explain you later. Okay? Because it is quite difficult. But no, breathing in negative ions or using negative magnetic pole facing our body would create an alkaline environment in our body. And alkaline is important because it is the alkaline body is not suitable for germs to live in.
Yes.
Yeah, alkaline body, the high pH can let our intestinal system to absorb, to dilute, to decompose protein. Okay, in other words, we can absorb better. Okay, it can activate normal cell energy production. In other words, when within our cell, we can absorb sugar, okay, it's a better, in fact, sugar, okay, and water, and oxygen. And then combining these three, we can produce ATP. You already know the word ATP?
Yes.
What is ATP? No. ATP. What is ATP? The whole word is. Oh. I just confirmed that whether you know that. No. Okay, you know it. But it doesn't mean that you know. Okay. If we have to produce ATP, okay, that means the energy of the cell, of human cell, okay? You know, jam has jam's ATP. Okay, bacteria will have produced their own ATP, but under positive charged field, under positive magnetic field, they will produce ATP. So when the environment is full of negative ions, germ would die, fungus would die, cancer cell would die. Okay, because they do not produce their own ATP. But our cell could produce ATP when we are having sufficient negative ions, or when we are facing negative magnetic field. They're the same thing. In fact, when we put a big magnet here, okay, there will be negative ions. There will be negative ions inside. And when our cell absorb the negative ions, they can combine sugar, okay, water, and oxygen to produce ATP. This will energize our cell. This is the importance of negative ions. Okay? Okay, it would eliminate free radicals, including heavy metal, some oxidizing agents that make us getting old. So for rejuvenation, we need negative ions. We need negatively charged flows. Whether it is produced by 9,000 or produced by a great magnet zone, high gauge, high strength, or any other means, we can produce negative ion through laser. Okay? But the final outcome is the same. The final outcome is the negative ion and the negative electric charge inside the body. Okay. can make all the free radicals, all the heavy metal become non-toxic. This is important. Okay. It would stimulate hormones. Okay, normally we would like to stimulate two kinds of hormones. One, the growth hormones. Growth hormones is very important for rejuvenation. If you want to look young, you must need growth hormones. But growth hormones must be produced under negative magnetic field or the existence of negative ions. Normally we got negative magnetic field at night. The Earth magnetic field is negative. Okay, but how much do you sleep? Do you have sufficient sleep? No. I didn't. I sleep 3 hours, 4 hours. But when you do not have the time, when you do not have sufficient sleep, or in fact you cannot sleep, okay, how can you get the negative ions? How can you get the negative field? Advertising time. No. We cannot eat. First of all, we Chinese is very interesting. Whenever we have any disease, the first thing the patient or the client asks me is, what should we eat? Okay, do you know what is the second question? What can we not? What cannot be eaten? So the Westerners sometimes say that we Chinese did not leave the oral stage. Still in the oral stage. Every time, everything is thinking about eat. Okay, but no. Eating, through eating to obtain energy is in fact not economical. Now, you know, now when we eat something to get energy, first of all we need to give up some energy in order to decompose it, decompose the food, to absorb the food. Okay, but nowadays the food is very toxic. We have very preservative, many things added into the food, and when we need to absorb energy from the food, some more energy must be paid to the toxin. So our liver is very, very heavy loaded already. So sometimes when we eat, the energy we absorb is maybe less than the energy we spend. So we are doing a loss business. We cannot rely on eating. In fact, nowadays people will say, eat less and live longer. Okay, don't eat too much. Eat is a loss business. Remember that. Okay, we do not obtain net gain in energy from eating. So sometimes fasting is better. Okay. Then, well, if we do not have sufficient energy, then how can we obtain? Okay, through what we call an external source, through electricity, through light, photon. Okay, sunlight, artificial sunlight. Okay, there are a lot of methods that we can obtain energy besides eating, and we are focusing on that, and we should focus on that. Biomagnetism may be a good alternative.